Yo, Virgo, what's up? We're gonna get our reading late just because of some motherfucking dude shaking my head. I quote the revolution. Nah, it's not like that. Let's address the elephant in the room. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. That happens when somebody leaves you. That's when the bitterness and the anger and everything. It was my birthday yesterday. I was just chilling. Sorry. My Virgo moon is right there with you. Let's have our reading, no? Trash has no sign. Eight of Pentacles. Work-wise, things are in the pipeline. You getting sick of hearing that yet? It's on its way, but you keep saying it's on its way, but where is it? That's Bob. Bob is a robot. Bob mows the lawn. Eight of Pentacles is also about diligence, keeping your head down, doing the work, not being distracted. Ace of Swords. New things brought on by the ending of old things. New ideas coming out of nowhere. New opportunities. Even when it comes up with the Eight of Pentacles, reading it in context, new monies. And yet there is still a weight implied. Let's keep going. So yes, it was my birthday yesterday, and I thought about doing your reading yesterday, and then I thought, no, let me like completely decompress, have my day, have some fun, which I really did. Ooh, bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles, lots of cards here. Oh, bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Six of Cups. Okay, all right, we'll look at that, but there's a lot of cards right here. Page of Pentacles, good start. Three of Swords. Okay. So if you're feeling a bit let down or hurt by someone, the Sun. New opportunities. Summer approaches. The Sun, like we talked about in the Leo reading, is love, light, life. When you get the Sun card, especially after a period of diminishing and mourning or grieving, it's really even more welcome. You go from the gray skies to life, abundance, light. It's good. And especially early in the reading, which means let's get it out of the way and move into the summer. Eight of Pentacles turning into Seven of Pentacles. If you feel like there's a delay on stuff that's supposed to be totally sure in terms of money, you're right, there is a delay. But don't freak, because it's nothing to do with what you've done. It's nothing to do with anything that can be helped. Let's put it that way. It's just a wait that has to happen right now, but it doesn't indicate any sort of negativity as long as you don't attach worry and anxiety in the interim. That's the only tricky part. Next, the Death card. So, new beginnings, rebirth, Scorpio, Phoenix. Let's see how that figures. So if you're dealing, Virgo, with a Leo or a Scorpio, they're coming up super prominent. If you are an earth sign dealing with another earth sign, and you're watching for that reason, if you're an earth sign dealing with a Virgo, then either you or them are coming up as very diminished with the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. And there are a lot of endings going on for Virgos, Virgo risings, Virgo moons, Virgo suns. Even a lot of Virgo Mercuries are going through this. And I think it's because their words may have triggered something. Four of Swords. So after the period of rebirth and endings, some stillness will be required. But the Three of Swords turning into the Four of Swords is a welcome change, yeah? Like we've talked about before, much better to go from the Three of Swords to the Four than to the Two. Because the Two, you know, you're just not even out of the woods. You got to go back the other way again. But this way, at least you reach some peace with the thing. And perhaps you are also realizing that that ending is really, when this card comes up, it's for your best. And if the Page of Pentacles is coming up with the Three of Swords, but the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles, we know that this is very positive for you. And what happens when we've gone through a period of negativity and loss, and we need some positivity? Generally, rest. Contemplative rest for you, because we know the Virgo mind never rests. So the card's accounting for the fact that, of course, you will still be thinking, but perhaps this card can give you a direction in how to think during this time. Not to get lost in the worry. This person is not worried. This person is, in fact, lying in a tomb, right? It's a tomb. It's a sarcophagus. So what's the implication there? Serenity. The serenity that you reach post worrying about this material, right? I think what it's denoting here is a real, deep, contemplative rest that has to do with letting go of the earthly. For something more profound, perhaps. You know, anything that you've lost right now will, of course, be replaced with something more profound. That's just the way it works. King of Wands. Generally a card I associate with the Father, and also the Leo card being out. Strong fire energy here, trying to disrupt the contemplative quiet time. So if you're dealing with an Aries, for example, a Sag, a Leo who's not letting you rest, who's dominating. There's never trucks here. I don't know how, but anyway, gives you guys something to look at. The Aries, that Mars energy is gonna want to push you. We'll look at it in the context when I can show you the cards. It'll make more sense. That's definitely a card you have to read in the context of everything else. Nine of Pentacles. And yet still, you are not as diminished as you think. These are minor setbacks on a much larger road that leads you to really, really amazing things. And this is in many ways the female Virgo card. The Virgo symbolism is one of the mother goddess figure, the Virgin Mother, holding a sheath of grain in one hand and a baby in the other. So she has the sheaths of grain here, and she is with child. So Virgo female coming up super, super strong. Virgo male being diminished and going through a really hard time where they're really having to look at their paternal relationships. But the Virgo female is, after this hurt, slight, pain situation, the endings, and you guys are on the rise. And the rise is meteoric. You're going from diminishment to boom, major arcana. The Death card is welcome here. And better to get it done before even, starting summer. You have time. You have time to go out. You have time to really embody this Empress energy, right? The Empress is also about patience, because grain grows. You can't force it to grow, right? You can't rush it. Babies gestate. You can't speed up the gestation process. So there is a natural patience that is implied here. A gentleness and a patience. And I think that it would behoove you to employ that right now, because it will grant you such great dividends. You will become so receptive, not just to people in abundance, but also, I think there is a period here where you can really gain some good luck and some good karma. When people say that or many religions state that when someone hurts you, they take some of your bad karma. Some of your bad karma is absolved. It's the fire station next door. I'm so annoyed right now. So I am not at all exhibiting that Empress patient energy right now. You see. So when someone mistreats you, some of your bad karma is absolved because of their actions. It's a balancing out, right? It's that same homeostasis that our cells look for, but on an energetic level. So if you do feel like you have been incredibly wronged, if you were in your queen moment and someone really rocked your foundation, and now you just like want to get away from everything, it's okay. It will only feed whatever that tower moment was for you or is happening for you right now. It's only standing to feed this, because so much of your karma that everyone racks up is absolved when someone treats you in a way that brings about the Tower card. I mean, yes, you've been hurt. And I think that sometimes what's even more frustrating for Virgos is that once they get hurt, the way people treat them once they're hurt. It's a lot of people, when they get hurt, they garner a lot of sympathy from people, you know? People are like, oh no, someone hurt that person. That's so mean. They should have, that person's so nice. A lot of times when Virgos get hurt, the way you guys react makes people even more angry. It's like you are the victim, you're the one who's been hurt, but the way you've reacted, which is to be very, you know, kind of quiet and let's say non-reactive, will make people who would generally sympathize with someone who's gone through what you've gone through, it'll make them angry with you. It's really kind of twisted. You know, we want to see pain before we give our sympathy, our compassion. And if you don't show us that, we hate you for it, because what you're belying then is a quiet strength, and I think that unnerves people because most people are, sorry, it's like allergies, like slight allergies, because most people are weak and they don't like to see that strength reflected in anyone around them. So if you have been hurt and then have had the added indecency of having people treat you like you're the villain on top of being hurt, then it is definitely showing up here. And I can feel it. Just the sense of being unfairly treated really being punctuated by the Tower card as well. But again, that all will just polish your karma wherever you have messed up off and bring you closer and closer to this realization. Now, let's take a closer look here, because in terms of work, there is some stuff. And also in terms of friendships. So I mean, we're outside, so there's no lighting issue. So I can just show you what I'm looking at. All right, now, in terms of work, the back and forth that you may be feeling, will the deal work out? Will I get the monies? Whatever it is. It's really, really important as you're going through perhaps a rebranding or a revamping of the thing, or maybe someone is saying that, no, we got to redo the whole thing. It's really important not to panic, just in general right now, Virgo, because you have a moment here to glean something really creative from the things you've been through and level up in a way financially that it's coming anyway. But in the meantime, if you panic, it may just make you run away from something that is really incredible. Like, check this out, this triumvirate of earth, power, earth mother power. It's a lot to lose just because of timidity or a certain type of fragility, if you will. If you know you're fragile, Virgo, it would behoove you this month to really, really stay away from those who could crack you. But you said that we should speak our truths. Absolutely, you should speak your truth, but perhaps do it from a distance and then block the person so they can't respond, because you're very sensitive right now. And it's just, injury to insult is what it seems like. And on top of that, you're dealing with a work situation that you think is precarious. It is not. It is just another way of clearing out that which really, really, really does not satisfy you. And Virgo is associated with digestion and the stomach. It is about satisfaction. It's about discerning. It's about the liver. It's about being able to heal and regrow, right? Like the liver. It's all these things that have to do with satisfaction and keeping the thing running. Anything that isn't keeping you running, anything that is stopping you, anything that is not satisfying, just doesn't feel good, it will not be able to survive June because it doesn't feel good. You feel bad. It makes you feel bad. And so it has to go. But if it is in terms of work that you're feeling this way, I don't think you should quite react that way. I think you should wait it out a little because there is so much good fortune down here. Don't overreact. Now, in other aspects of your life, you won't have to, actually, you know what? In no case overreact, because this really does look like the universe is taking things away that need to be taken away. I don't think you have to do anything. Better to not react at all. Be like Bob. See how Bob just sits there and doesn't mow the lawn because it's not long enough? Because Bob knows. That period of stillness. Be like Bob right now. Let these fiery waves pass over you. Let the grief pass over you. Let the supreme good fortune come to you after the rain. You see the rain here, the dark clouds and the rain? And the sun and the light? And then the dark clouds and the rain and the thunder again? But there is so much sun and light. And then the darkness again. And so definitely a month of moodiness. Sensitive, very sensitive right now. And a lot of people will say to you, well, why are you being sensitive? You said all types of stuff to me last month. What are you being sensitive about? Yeah, well, no one said just because we can do it that we can take it. Hey, no shade. I'm just saying, I'm the same way. My Virgo moon be showing out all the time. You say one little thing to me, I get pissed. I do. I get pissed. All right, let's look at this. Knight of Pentacles. This will be part of your extended, yeah? And the extended will definitely clarify here. And we'll talk about it again in a second in terms of Scorpio and road signs. I just want to look under the deck a little because I'm nosy. 7 of Cups. Okay. This is what I mean about don't let the period of waiting in terms of finance and money turn into a period of confusion. You see what I'm saying here? You guys have a tendency to do this because you're hypochondriacs. And you're paranoid about stuff like this. And so if things don't work out, perfectly, you start to like unravel in some ways and start to get all worried and panicky. And it can be adorable if you have your own shit together and life is good and you can take care of your partner. But if you're not on steady ground yourself and your partner starts acting like this, especially after pretending to be so stable, it can be quite jarring for you and your partner. You see what I'm saying? So let's not let your period of waiting, and it may seem, like I said, like it's going backward a little. Let's not let the seeming backward momentum of your work life, which it is not, it is temporary. Do not let it turn into that. However, here we're seeing an increase, which is great. I'm just worried about how this works for you guys. It's like as your sense of yourself gets better after a down period, as you start to get better, your mind starts to overwork. It's this like double-edged sword with you guys. Like last month, double-edged healer. Once you're done with your meditation, once you're done with your, what's past life and death kind of doesn't really matter all that much, which is probably the only way you guys get to turn your heads off. Then a period of exploration and optimism and the sun shining again, which will lead you here, can ensue. But you can see here that the Tower moment is not at all surprising. You start to feel a little better, but the grief is really kicking. You know how sometimes grief can be so difficult that it can make good things hurt, painful? Like you can be so hurt that something good happens and instead of you being happy, it hurts you. You can see how the Tower moment occurs here when it seems like all this is kind of falling on you. If you have a Scorpio in your life, I think you need to take a little bit of a break because their venom is, it's a lot right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of your Scorpio friends or parents or someone, your loved one in some way, who brings about the Tower moment for you. These are very related. Complete and total change. Now let's look at them as the road signs they are. Okay, let me pull the extended cards first. I'm sorry. So, Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Six of Cups. Past the confusion, past the Tower moment, past the worry and the fear, past the grief, there is love. Old, deep, deep love. You may find this again with someone. Of course. Of course. But you see how clear it is that the not panicking comes first. The not overthinking, when you know you're overthinking and you're falling down that hole, remember what I'm saying here. Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Pairs. Pairs in Gemini season. Yeah. There are great possibilities brewing here for you. Towards the end of the month, things look really good. Admittedly, things are starting off slow. But once you hit the death card, once around mid-June, you feel that change coming on you. Involuntary. Cellular level, where you just think to yourself, what have I been doing? This may result in you totally leaving something behind or running towards something again. It's you coming to your senses. Let's put it that way, okay? Nine of Swords. Ta-da! So, remember how we were talking about karma being absolved because of stuff that happens? So we have a progression now of the Knight to the King. And remember how we were talking about the overthinking gets worse? I think, okay, all right, I think that these are the extended cards, and we'll look at these in the extended. However, let's go back here to the road signs. Yeah, now we know what we're looking at. Judgment and revert. Knight of Swords. Karma, karma, karma. Okay, okay, okay. Excuse me. Let's look at the major arcana as road signs. Yeah? Oh, I'm so glad it didn't freeze because I can't tell sometimes when the camera's down here if it's frozen. And then we lose like gems, you know? All right. The first road sign we have here is the sun. So on your dark road, you're traveling, it's raining, and you're sad, and things are just like, what? And then there's this road sign that's like, hey, this flashing, you know, this is like the sun coming up here after the Three of Swords is like how you feel when you hit Vegas. Actually, that's not even accurate. This is how you feel when you hit that little place right before Vegas after you've been driving for like 5 hours in the desert and you hit that little casino area first and you're like, is this Vegas? And it's like, no, dude, Vegas is like 30 minutes away. And then you hit Vegas and you're like, ah! But when you see lights in the desert, that's the sun. It's lighting your way through the clouds going, hey, 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 like, come this way. Just gravitate a little over this way. Leo season is going to be lit. Don't worry. We just need to pull you out of the grief, yeah? And then the next card, the next major arcana is the death card. So the sun and then death. So taking you to the heights and then pulling you to the depths. This is definitely the Virgo way. Let's remember the duality of the Virgo, like we said, is the sheaths of grain she holds in one hand and the baby in the other. So the sheaths of grain are now dead, right? She's cut them with the scythe. They're no longer a living thing. And then the baby in the other is the living thing. So the sun here representing life and abundance, and death here representing the cut harvest, if you will. Ready to be stored to survive the winter. The Virgo is the one that helps humans survive the winter, right? It is the one that discerns and plans and stores and keeps track. It is the reason we were able to evolve past seasons and develop successful agrarian lifestyles. Go Virgos. So, from the heights to the depths we go. Has a lot to do with waiting on something that you thought you had really put a lot into and was supposed to pay great dividends. Next major arcana then is the Empress. So again, from the heights to the lows to the heights we go. The Empress, again, telling you, if you're feeling like you got stuck here, maybe you got stuck here again, the Empress pulling you out of the funk and out of the depth, saying, no, come back. Come back, everything is blooming. You can have all of this. The waters are flowing. The waters of life are flowing. There, you see them? Abundance in every form is flowing around her. She wears the stars in her hair. And fruit and flowers on her dress. Fertility, fertility, fertility. And then we go from fertility to destruction. Creation, destruction, creation, destruction. The Tao of it all, Virgo. This is the up and down of your June. And it makes sense because how else would Gemini season treat you? I'm so sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I really wasn't even trying to throw that shade. I'm sorry. We'll look at this in the extended. All right. You can find it on my website. It'll be instant stream or download, whichever one you want. If you download it, you can watch it without Wi-Fi later. But you can do both, actually. And then if you log in, you can watch them over and over again because it'll keep track of what you bought. Or you can order through Shopify. All the dates for the tour will be out soon. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'll give you more info in the box below about that. Okay? Yeah, we know. We got it. I love you. I will see you in, what is it, July? I'll see you in July.